rolling.
We're rolling. So, of course, I'm really proud to welcome Alex Skovron here this evening, who's come all the way from Melbourne to read at Poetry in the Kitchen. He's the author of 6 poetry collections, a prose novella, and a book of short stories, The Man Who Took to His Bed, 2017. His latest volume of poetry, Towards the Equator, New and Selected Poems, 2014, was shortlisted in the Prime Minister's Literary Awards. Alex's numerous public readings include appearances in China, Serbia, India, Ireland, Macedonia, Portugal, and on Norfolk Island. The Attic, a selection of his poetry translated into French, was published in 2013. And the bilingual volume of Chinese translations called Water Music appeared in 2017. His poetry has also been translated into Dutch, Spanish, Macedonian, and Polish, and his novella, The Poet, into Czech. Alex is currently preparing his next poetry collection called Letters from the Periphery, so you can't pinch that title if that's what you're thinking of doing. So will you please welcome Alex Skovron.
Thanks, Ross, and thank you all for coming. I'm very happy to be back in Castlemaine. It's been an infinite fun making these ones. A couple of glimpses of adolescence coming up from opposite corners of the world. First one is called Silhouette. She was our brand new neighbour, saucy, very single, maybe a decade older than we two brothers next door, a pair of precocious 16-year-olds. I found myself indulging in steamy fantasies. This was Vancouver, 1972, the summer unusually warm. I put it to Marcel, my twin, that I would do just about anything to bed her. He scoffed at my bravado. In your dreams, he said. But anyway, she doesn't turn me on. He gave a yawn, turned back to his Molière. My hubris dented, I devised a plan. Never one for the direct approach, I improvised an outfit, a few props, and 2 days later rang her bell, explained that I was collecting for the blind appeal and could she maybe spare a donation. From there I figured my charm would ensure the rest. She made me wait, went to the bedroom to locate her bag. I ogled her silhouette as she slipped inside. And then I froze. Beyond her door, half naked on her mattress, Marcel. And the second last poem I'll read is also blessed with an epigraph from Czesław Miłosz. This one reads, Where is the truth of unremembered things? This one is called Arcane Geometry. It is the unremembered things which harbour truth, things forgotten and things pushed past forgetting, that surface suddenly in the creak of a gate at sunset, or jolt us out of a dream of forbidden cellars where our first kiss went untasted. Rooms where we whispered nothing, and the night alone witnessed the contours of our febrile silence. Admit that the hazy outline of the staircase down into the deep decades is beyond your grasp. It quivers there, just across the chasm of thought. Confess that no truer note calls from the gone seasons than that pulse of longing somewhere so near, almost audible, behind, within. Each time you cross the open quadrangles and shadowed cloisters that turn your imaginings into daguerreotypes of unrequited fancy. Warm velleities or cooling hopes that refuse to surrender their essence, which is your essence. How often has a song re-quickened from a car radio ancient pleasures abandoned or unknown, or carved abruptly a channel into childhood's helpless diligence, transforming the moment into a truth that is yet impossible to reshape into the touchable. A clue from some arcane geometry whose angles you cannot decipher, no matter how you strain to translate its axioms into legible script. Where then is that which long dead is yet alive but irrecallable, barely glimpsed, forever blanketed under the fathomless cloak of the past? And when will there come a chance to snatch at that cloak, expose the outlines and contours of the elusive psalm beneath, to confront at last the true trace of time, the unremembered things that wait quietly inside the dusty almanacs of our desires, to strip away the illusions we employ a lifetime to tend and cultivate, while the truths we do remember wither in the hothouse we inhabit, to reveal the forgotten garden that flourishes somewhere there among the shaded beds and hidden furrows of what we mistake for ourselves. This next poem is for Ross. It's called Legend. And I've read this poem here a couple of times. Here it is, Ross.
Thank you.
Hope you'll like it. But this was 1969. Her father seemed so old that I expected him to crumple at any moment. Instead, he folded his fat Saturday paper, smiled nixonically, and, thoughtful, brushed at his shadow like an alcoholic. We eat at 6 on Saturdays. You're welcome to join us. In the meantime, drive nicely. At last, we were alone as a couple of cosy parkers in Lover's Lane, or almost. This was a daytime date, so we'd have to make do. And because her psych project was due Monday, and tonight being the night of her babysitting debut, most of the weekend was a write-off. So we drove down to this windy, deserted beach halfway along the coast, to a place where they'd converted each little picnicker's bay into a sheltered, virtually one-car niche, turned off the wipers, the motor, managed to plunk our starving bodies into the back, where, peeking over at me like a magnet, she loosened herself somewhat, and "Go for it," she said. And before we knew it, as the cross-hatched rain sealed us into our great dream forever, latched in our hot pain against the wet world, half naked where it mattered. And as I watched her effigy unveil and our teeth chattered in the steam of the afternoon downpour, and she unravelled a hand into my skin, and I sensed the perfect shadowy parabola remold itself and disappear somewhere and grow ample, and understood the thrall of Samson as he grasped the temple pillars of all his love and all of his power. And as I knew all this, I suddenly recalled absurdly that the fuel gauge had been sitting on absolute zero. And in a while I'd have to restart the car. I thought of her dry old dad, and I smiled, and I looked into her spinning half-open eyes, and her arms clung irreleasably, and that was the moment I drowned there among the pounding waves of rain and her infinite lips, that and the radio humming and 1969, and who cares today if any of this is anywhere near the way it never quite happened. Thank you very much.